Peace, 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 peace. What is up, everybody? This is your boy Q Dog's Truth coming in with a conscious, woke video. You get what I'm saying? So today in this video, I told you niggas that I was going to make a part 3 of my Eve Jean video exposing these goofies and these clowns in the spiritual community like Remy H, Tommy, and Exeme. And if you niggas are confused on why I'm exposing these 3 motherfuckers I'm going to be talking about in this video today, go watch my Remedy H Exposed Part 1 and Part 2 video. Go watch my Part 1 video of the Eve Gene. And go, especially, importantly, go watch my Part 2 video of the Eve Gene video of the Eve Gene. And it will explain everything that you need to know so you're not lost, so you're not confused on why I'm exposing these motherfuckers today. So let's just get to this video and let's get on to the motherfucking point. So this whole beef fucking between me, Tommy, and Exeme started on September the 20th, but this is when Brett was talking about, genetics, and he was talking about saying that he is a melanated being of this planet, even though he looks like a so-called Caucasian. So this is not where the beef started, but this is the information or knowledge that he was spreading to the group chat. So if you guys want to read it, I'll just slowly scroll down, and there's certain points that he's going to make, and I'm going to explain what my personal thoughts on it are. You get what I'm saying? But yeah, so y'all can read this. This is what he replied and said. And see, this is what he's saying about his light. So Brett, like I was telling you guys in that Part 2 video, Brett Hist was saying that he has green veins, just like us, just like the original, carbonated or melanated beings of this planet. So I believe what he's saying because he showed us pictures of him having green veins. And see, like I was saying in my Part 2 video, white people, Asian people, and Arab people, they don't have green veins. They have blue veins. So he's not fucking white. He looks white, but he's not. And he's going to give us proof later on in this motherfucking video. You get what I'm saying? So y'all can just go read this shit too. And see, I know he in this video in the group chat that in the Instagram group chat that Tommy and Azim were in before I removed their ass. You know what I'm saying? I know he was talking about the Anunnaki and all this other stuff. And see, I'm gonna talk about the Anunnaki later on in this video. But he said, now ask yourself, is the color of your skin going to save you when the Anunnaki come back for their gold? You are resources to them, fuel for them. The crystal in your melanin, it says the no-go, the Nagas, the blue avians, the ant humanoid Elohim. So when he's talking about the ant humanoid Elohim, I believe he's talking about the extraterrestrial species called the insectoids. So y'all can go do your research on the insectoids so you guys know who the insectoids are. But I do know a little bit about the insectoids and shit like that. So I believe that's what he's talking about when he talks about the humanoid Elohim. He says that RFG, chosen one, broke down, are the true guardians of the galaxy. He said the Anunnaki are AI, so that means they're artificial intelligence. It says, don't you fucking get it? It's in the goddamn name. It says they are a rebel alliance consisting of all species of beings in the galaxy. He says the followers of Haston, aka Yaldabaoth, Ogo, Satan, your name. He says some gods fell. So he said some gods fell in frequency and chose to follow Ogo, or I guess he's claiming that's the god. He's claiming the god of the Bible is Amun, Ogo, and he has all these other names, which could be true, but I haven't done research on it. And then he says, then some chose righteousness and follow Asu, aka Enki. Iki or Enki. He says, I'm a descendant of Iki, laugh now, cry later. Then he's talking about the Justice League, what RFG Chosen One decoded in the Justice League, or the movie called the Justice League. So y'all can go listen to that. And this is what I told everybody in that group chat. I was like, well, we should start researching what he's talking about since no one answered his question he had for the group. Then he replied to my message. You know what I'm saying? Then he's talking about what some of Kala Amun Ra's followers have been doing. You know what I'm saying? On Instagram, because this nigga, you know what I'm saying, debunked the prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell theory that Kala Amun-Ra talks about all the time. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? And he was saying that they were threatening to kill him. They said they were gonna snap his neck and all this other shit. And you know what I'm saying? I don't know why motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? And I know people were talking about this whole conscious community and shit, but I don't get if somebody disproves your information, why the fuck are you gonna automatically gonna resort to violence? Why the fuck are you gonna automatically want to fucking threaten these people just because they disproved your theory? Like, nigga, just do the research and be like, okay, just admit, nigga, just admit and be like, okay, I was wrong. I'm gonna make sure I do my research, make sure I use my discernment. He says, I no longer want to be part of the conscious community. He says it's full of the same people they are trying to so-called oppose. It says time to smell the coffee. He says most people in the conscious community can't explain to me what a phenotype is. Then this is the other stuff he was saying. So he's talking about that only 2%. I don't know if Isis Wisdom talked about it too, but he said only 2% of people in this world only are pure blooded. That means they don't have animal genetics. And like I said, I know Remedy H was saying like, oh, we as the original beings of this planet, we don't have animal genetics. We don't have this. We don't have that. But what if he's wrong? What if we're all mixed with something, bro? Because I can tell you right now, on my dad's side, bro, my grandpa's dad was so-called Caucasian or Irish. And I'm telling you guys this, bro, from experience, because I know a little bit about my dad's side of the family. I know he was Caucasian, bro. And my grandpa's mom, she was an original being of this planet. So that probably means my grandpa was biracial or he was mixed. So I know I do have some Caucasian ancestry in my bloodline too. But anyways, he was saying, then he was saying, if you want to say having animal DNA is a bad thing, he said, I got fucking news for everyone. Only 2% or less of the world is pure blood, meaning that almost every melanated person has at least a so-called white ancestor. And says, and here you have fucking idiots like Kala Amun-Ra saying that so-called mixed cell people are going to die. Like, dude, I can't make this shit up. He says, it's coming out their mouths. He says, I just use their own logic against them, not to mention the gods of commit with animal heads. You get what I'm saying? So that's what he was saying. So like me as as an individual, I don't believe that I have any animal genetics. I'm gonna tell you something. I'm not Caucasian at all. But I'll tell you guys this: I do have Caucasian ancestry in my blood, but that doesn't mean that doesn't mean I have animal genetics in me. You get what I'm saying? I just have Caucasian ancestry in my blood that comes from my dad's side of the family and shit. Because like I told you, my grandpa was mixed, but unfortunately he passed away. Rest in peace to him. But anyways, he said, did everyone just decide to ignore my shit? It says, what y'all think the same? It says what y'all think the same thing the mainstream archaeologists are telling you. It says the animal heads represented aspects of spirituality. No, it was fucking literal. Almost all beings on this planet were created by taking God DNA and fusing it with animal DNA. It's all about are you fused with animal DNA that coincides with nature or goes against nature, such as a dog, pig, or some others. Then he says, then there are the seedlings of Thoth, the seedlings of Segment, the seeding of Osiris, who was a Nomo, aka a water dragon. Time for people to start doing their research. Then this is what he said. He said, I never want anyone to just believe me, like you said, brother. You're going to go within and meditate on it. He says, that's what I want everyone to do. Stop blindly following these social media truthers, especially those who are not providing straight evidence behind all their claims. He said, that's all I want for this movie. He says, I don't want to be lied. He says, and I want the truth to be accepted. And most people's version of the truth is factually incorrect. RFG Chosen One had been the only individual in this entire movement that hasn't missed with his knowledge, and that is why I can do nothing but give this man his respect to the highest degree. So I guess he was talking about that, whatever. And that was replying to his message and everything. So he explained what he meant by that. And he was telling me he's not an ancient. His passion just blinds his judgment. It says 99% of what he says is factual. He's just one part. He just has one part wrong. That your dark skin is what makes you melanated. He says that's been proven incorrect on a biological level already. Dr. Layla Africa, dark skinned man. So like I said, guys, I have done research on Dr. Layla Africa, and for some reason Dr. Layla Africa. For some reason, he passed away at a young age, and he was a real healthy man, and he was spreading all this type of knowledge. So my question was, I was like, how the fuck did he die? How the fuck did he die early, bro? Because I think he passed away in 2014. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe Dr. Layla Africa passed away in 2014. So I'm thinking, I'm like, how the fuck did he pass away that quick? You get what I'm saying? And and I already told you guys this in the last part 2 video about, people saying that, what I'm saying, your skin, or judging people by the color of their skin and the way they. Because even though I have respect for Kala Amun Ra, and I believe that Kala Amun Ra wants to uplift our people, like he was saying, like he's not an agent, but I don't believe everything that he says, because I know he talks about the procreatic, eukaryotic cell, and he's saying like, oh, and I know the Kala Amun Ra talks about the great separation between the sun people and the moon people. I've heard all that shit that he's talking about. You get what I'm saying? He's saying, like, I know he talks about his procreatic, eukaryotic cell. He's saying like anybody, and to me, I don't know why it seems like he's saying anybody that looks like a so-called white person automatically is gonna burn and they're not gonna make it, this and that. He was saying the same shit Remedy H was saying. You get what I mean? Hold on, why the fuck is a plane flying above my fucking house, bro? Hold up, anyways, let's get to my fucking point. But that's why I don't agree with everything Kala Amun Ra says, you know what I'm saying? That's why I have to use my own discernment. But I'm just gonna hold a minute. Then I was saying, yeah, it don't make sense when people try to claim that they are Anunnaki and they say they are going to save us. Aren't we supposed to save ourselves? You see, now I'm gonna have to talk about the Anunnaki, because niggas are gonna say, oh yeah, the Anunnaki are coming. They're gonna come and save us from all this bullshit that's going on in this world. What yada yada yada. And I remember there's this girl named Miss Rachel, or Sister Rachel. I told you guys about her on Messenger, and she's saying like, yeah, the Anunnaki, we're gonna get raptured by the Anunnaki. We're gonna end up going into their ships. We're gonna be saved, this and that. And I remember I asked her, I was like, how do you know? Well, and I asked her, I was like, why would you trust some random extraterrestrial beings that you don't even know? Like, why would you randomly trust a stranger? Or I said some shit like that, and she said like, watch what you say, because the Anunnaki, they're listening to you. They're watching you. And I said, I'm not scared of being watched. I said, I know I'm being watched by motherfucking certain people, and especially the law enforcement too. They've been watching my ass. It's been fucking crazy. They ain't doing shit, but they just watching my ass. They'll like try to do some slick shit and try to roll up behind me when I'm walking on the sidewalk or some shit like that. They trying to do some goofy, sneaky ass shit. But I know when these bitches are coming, because I'm used to these motherfuckers watching me. You get what I'm saying? Then I know people are talking about, yeah, the Anunnaki are gonna do this, the Anunnaki are gonna do that, and I've heard many negative things about the Anunnaki, because I showed you guys what he said earlier. You know what I'm saying? I heard people saying that when the Anunnaki are gonna come back, people that choose to side with the Anunnaki and the people that choose to go on them ships, and I'm saying this, ain't no way in hell that I'm gonna randomly walk up in a stranger's ship and me not knowing what the fuck his intentions are. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if he looks like a so-called, if the nigga looks like me. You know what I'm saying? Because I told before Miss Rachel, Sister Rachel, then told me that I need to stop saying that the Anunnaki, that I need to stop saying certain things that the Anunnaki are gonna, because the Anunnaki are gonna watch me. I told Miss Rachel, I was like, bruh, you get what I'm saying? I was like, not all, and this is what, there's a guy named Travelington Bear, or he's like an indigenous guy from Philadelphia, and I asked him, I was like, because I went on one of his posts and he's talking about, because I'll explain to him, I was like, what do you mean by not all skin folk are kinfolk? because he was talking about that the Moors and the original people of Europe, which look like your so-called black people, because I'm mixed with American Indian and I'm mixed with the melanated Europeans. You know what I'm saying? The melanated Europeans that were kings and queens that they are not going to tell you about in school. You know what I'm saying? Because if you guys didn't know, we were fucking kings and queens, bro. You know what I'm saying? The melanated people in Europe, them niggas over there was royalty, bro. Because I'm telling you, I have melanated European DNA and ancestry in me that comes from my dad's side, specifically my grandma's side of the family. You know what I'm saying? Because that side of the family is from England and Scotland and all this other shit. And he was explaining to me that why all skin folk are not kinfolk. Because he was telling me when there was a time in history, like maybe the 1600s, when the Moors and the melanated people over in Europe they were actually colonizers, bro. You know what I'm saying? The melanated people in Europe and the Moors were colonizers, bro. They only cared about spreading their religion. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know this, but the melanated Europeans were a bunch of motherfucking colonizers and shit. And they was trying to kill off the American Indians, the indigenous people of America. You know what I'm saying? Because they wanted money, wealth, territory, and all this other shit. You get what I'm saying? Which is fucking sad. I asked him, I was like, why would our own people want to attack us? He's saying like those are not he wasn't saying those are not our people, but he's like, not all skin folk are kinfolk. And let me just say this, bro, because Brett said this shit too. Just because somebody looks like a so-called black person or just because somebody is melanated or carbonated doesn't always mean that they have their best interest in mind for you. That doesn't mean just because somebody's melanated, that doesn't mean that they're on your side. You get what I'm saying? Because you don't know what their intentions might be. Their intentions might be to colonize you, you know what I'm saying, control you, hurt you, kill you. You don't fucking know. Just because somebody's carbonated doesn't automatically mean they're on your fucking side. And what he said made sense when he said all skin folk ain't kinfolk. So now let me continue what I was saying. And then I know he was talking about the Anunnaki, and Travelington Bear was saying that the Anunnaki were a bunch of invaders that they came here that the Anunnaki came here and see Paris VR for. I'll tell you about Paris VR, that mixed girl. She told me about that too. She was saying like, yeah, the Anunnaki were a bunch of fucking invaders. The Anunnaki came here to fucking they came here for gold, mining for gold, and they were enslaving people that were the organic beings of the planet. They used to tell me that they were enslaving people so they could mine for gold and all this other shit, which was like, oh fuck, I didn't know that, because I know people talk about Inky and Enkill or Inu and Enil. I don't really know who the fuck them people are, but I know in the Sumerian text, the ancient text, they talk about the Anunnaki. You know what I'm saying? And all this other shit. So it's like niggas are saying like, oh yeah, we need we're like I said, we're gonna get raptured and shit. And then and I'll tell these niggas like, you don't know if you're gonna get raptured. You don't know what the fuck these Anunnaki are gonna do to you. They're probably gonna fucking enslave you and do all this other shit to you. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Take away the melanin away from you and shit. You don't know what the fuck these people Anunnaki are gonna do to you. This is another thing I'm gonna say, bro. Since niggas are talking about the Anunnaki gonna come save us. So my question is, why are we waiting for some star family, some Anunnaki on some ships to come down and save us, nigga? Like, hold up. Aren't we supposed to save ourselves? You know what I'm saying? Because ain't nobody gonna save us. Ain't no God of the Bible. Ain't no Allah. Ain't no Jehovah, Yeshua, Ashua. Ain't no Shiva. Ain't no Buddha gonna come down and save our asses. We gotta be the ones, you know, that has to save our fucking self, bro. We gotta make that choice to save ourselves. You get what I'm saying? And niggas, I know them. I was telling you about Remedy, the people that were in Remedy H's group chat or my group chat. They were saying, "Oh yeah, you're Anunnaki. You came from this and that." And my question is, how do you even know I'm Anunnaki, bro? And you never even met me. You don't even know me like that. I can tell you who the fuck I am from what my family members. You know what I'm saying? My grandma and my great aunts and told me, the elders in the family that have unfortunately passed on. Rest in peace to them. But I've asked them, I was like, who are we? They'll tell me, they're like, we're Indians. we're this, we're that, we're not African. They'll be like they told me the tribes that I'm from. They were saying like you're Blackfoot, you're Blackfoot Indian, you're Cherokee, you're this and that. This is from my mom's side. They told me that I was Blackfoot and Cherokee, and I believe on my mom's side or my grandpa that passed away like 4 years ago. I wish I would have seen him a little bit more, but he lived in Detroit. But the thing was, he was raised in Alabama. And I believe that I looked up the three main Indian tribes that are down in Alabama. They are the Creek, the Chickasaw, then the Choctaw. And just judging by the area that he was raised in, I believe that I could be that could be mixed with Choctaw Indian too, because they had the high cheekbones, like the slanted Asian eyes and all this other stuff, bro. So I believe that I could be Choctaw and everything, because like I said, his facial, because like I said, he had real strong gene. My grandpa had real strong genes and facial features. You get what I'm saying? But I know his sister, which is the last sibling that's left, she doesn't really know nothing about the family like that. She knows very little. So I was like, oh damn. But I still love her too. But then on my dad's side, I know for a fact that I think it comes from my grandma's side. I am half Arawak Indian, or Arawak. The Arawak Indians, they come from down in the Caribbean, like Jamaica, Trinidad, Tobago, Trinidad. Them type of areas. But I never heard no family members ever tell me that I'm Anunnaki. And I bet if I would have said that to one of the elders, one of my great aunts that was still here, they'd be looking at me like I'm fucking crazy. They'd be like, boy, what the hell is you talking about, you Anunnaki? Nigga, we're this, we're that. So it's kind of the elders, they knew what we were talking about. Unfortunately, most of our family members didn't want to listen to them because they've been programmed. But like I said, I listen to my motherfucking elders because they know what the fuck they're talking about. So see, he was calling out Remedy H. Since Remedy H was in this group chat before I removed him. Since what I'm saying, Remedy H was saying like, oh yeah, because he looks like a so-called white person, he was gonna burn. So he's saying, for all you dumb asses that want to call me a cracker, hey Remedy H, how about you go live with me while I'm in the sun and I'll show you who I am. LO, he says, LOL, what a fucking joke. I am a crystal being. Keep telling me who I am. The sun shows you who I am every day. He says, so he told me an Octoroon is a melanated person, passing is a white person. It said, "Do back to the original." He says, "So y'all can." So nobody could explain what a phenotype was in general, bro. Even Tommy, that little zesty yag boy. I'm telling you, bro, that boy is fruity to the tooth. That boy got some sugar in his tank. You know what I'm saying? I could just see it in his fucking eyes, the fruitiness in his eyes. Ooh, weird nigga too. But anyways, nobody could explain what a phenotype was. Nobody even did their research. They're always saying like, oh, he's gonna burn this and that. So y'all can go check these messages and all this other shit. See what I'm saying? So I mentioned Terry Patterson. So this is what Zine first says. He's like, yo, what's going on? Then Brett responded to what Zine said. He said, what's up, my brother? He said, I'm here supposing blah, blah, blah. Then he explains again what the Anunnaki are. So if you guys don't know what the Anunnaki are, he explained who the Anunnaki are, what they're here for, what their agenda is. These so-called extraterrestrial beings and shit. But yeah. Then so I was gonna meditate on everything. This is what he said. Hold up. And I want to say one thing before I start this video, bro, about Remedy H, bro. I really feel like I know the real reason why Remedy H didn't want to go live with Brett, because I remember texting Remedy H on Messenger. I was like, hey, bro, my boy Brett's calling you out, bro. Why don't you go live with him so he can prove his point? He's like, oh, no. He's like, no, I don't got time for that. I'm going to focus on building, bro. But I know the real reason why he didn't. I know the real reason why Remedy H didn't want to go live with Brett, because I feel like deep down, Remedy H knew that his ass would have got embarrassed and that his ass would have been proven wrong in front of the whole world. That's why he didn't go live with Brett, because he knew his ass was going to get exposed. Then he was going to have to explain himself to all of his little followers what the fuck really happened. You get what I'm saying? He was going to have to explain himself, and his ass would have got embarrassed. So that's why he didn't fucking do